Hello, and welcome to this video about how to manage your accounting firm with Odoo. My name is Laurent.
My name is Loïc.
So at Odoo, we like to offer businesses solutions to reach their full potential, and that applies as well to accounting firms. We talked to accounting professionals, and based on their feedback, we have added great features to our accounting application. So let's see today how you can benefit from real-time accounting. When we talk to accounting firms, one of the main areas that we identified where real-time accounting can have an impact is collaboration. Collaboration is a key factor of success, whether it is within your team or with your clients. Odoo can help you work together and gain efficiency. And in order to be efficient, the first step is to be organized. When you are an accounting firm with many clients, it is important that you have a good overview of all the files that you currently have, who is working on them, and what needs to be done, so that you don't forget important deadlines. Odoo comes with the built-in database manager, which is a dashboard specifically created for accounting firms. Loïc, can you please show us what it looks like?
Yes, of course. So first of all, I will present to you the accounting dashboard with on the left all the databases which correspond to all the clients you are managing, and on the right you have all the activities and to-dos for each of them. For example, you have the annual accounts, and you can also click on it, and you will see, for example, that I have to do the annual accounts for those clients with the one. You also have here the search bar, where you can search, of course, with the name of the client, but you can also search on the tags. So, for example, I can search for Laurent, and I will see all the database with the tag Laurent. If I go back, I can also search on the databases, and as you can see, we are using templates. So if you have a new client, you will just duplicate this template, and then you will rename it after the name of the client, and then you are ready to go. So it's also possible to do some actions on the database. So as you can see here with this button action, you have tags, so you can add tags to a database, but you can also invite and remove users. You can also do this for multiple databases at once. So here, if I add a tag, it will be on all the databases I've selected. So this is really a great tool to follow up all your clients and all your to-do without missing any deadline.
Well, how efficient is that? The last couple of years have really shown the importance of digitalization and being able to have access to information from anywhere, whether you work from home or from the client's office. Odoo is a cloud-based solution, which means that no local installation is required. A simple web browser is sufficient. Centralizing information and making it accessible to everyone is key to a great collaboration. And let's see how Odoo can help with this too.
Okay, so for this illustration, I will use something we are using on a daily basis. It's our phone. So let's imagine I'm one of your clients, and I received an invoice like this one, for example, and I don't want to lose it, so I will just take a picture of it and send it to the database. So before doing that, let's go back to the accounting dashboard, and let's imagine I'm the Coca-Cola client, and as you can see under inbox, I don't have any document. So I will now just take a picture of this invoice, and I will send it to the database. So after a couple of seconds, I can refresh my page. And as you can see now, for the Coca-Cola client, I have one document in the inbox. So this is really a great tool for the accountant to know how many documents he needs to record for each client.
Well, speaking of documents, let's talk about document management. As an accountant, you will probably need to receive a lot of documents every day. So making sure that they are all received in due time and that they are stored where they need to be can be challenging. At Odoo, we believe that the future will be 100% paperless. So, of course, we created an app for that. Loïc, can you show us how the document application can be useful for accounting firms?
Yes, of course. So for that, we will go back to the database itself. And here, as you can see, we have the document application. So if you open it, you will see on the left the different workspaces that you can adapt and modify to your needs. So I have, for example, the bookkeeping, the financial situation. I have one for finance, HR, and so on, with each time different tags that you can also add to your needs. If I go back to the bookkeeping workspace, I can see here the picture I just sent with my phone to the database. And as everything is integrated, you can, of course, send all the invoices you receive from the client in the document application to the accounting application. So you can here create vendor bills. So we will create them. And as you can see, Odoo created 3 lines. So each line is corresponding to one document. But we will quickly go back to the document application. And on those documents, you can see now I have the tag processed as purchase. And I also have a draft entry number for all of them. And if I select just one, I can, on the right, find the draft bill entry, and I can click on it, and then I'm directly into the accounting application where I will see my booking. It's also possible to request some documents to the client. So if you miss some documents, it's also possible to request them directly here with this request button in the document application, and this will create a workspace, and the client can directly upload all the documents in this placeholder.
Wow, super. Another point to a great collaboration is, of course, communication. And Odoo can help you create easily communication channels that will help you talk to your clients and your employees quickly, right? Loïc, can you show us some example of communication channels in Odoo?
Yes, so for that we will go to the accounting application, and I will show this in the customer invoices. But you have to know that this chatter, as we call it, it's available almost everywhere in Odoo. But here for our example, let's take the example of the customer invoices. And you see here below, we have what we call the chatter, when we will see all the information about this specific document. So when it was created, everything that has changed on this specific document. It's also possible to send a message. So for example, you can see here, I send the invoice to the client. So it's also in the chatter. And you can also log a note, for example, for a colleague, or you can also schedule an activity. So we have different types of activities. And as you can see here, for example, I have one, call the client due in 2 days. Last but not least, it's also possible to be a follower of this document, meaning that you will be informed if there is any modification on this document. So it's really helpful to keep an eye on everything that's going on with this specific document. And all the information in the chatter will always stay in the chatter.
Well, that's great, because everything is stored in the database. There is no more loss of information, and everyone has access to the same information at the same time. So let's recap on collaboration. We have seen that Odoo offers an integrated dashboard, allowing you to have a good overview of all the files and the actions that need to be taken in priority. Your files are accessible from anywhere, even on your mobile phone. And thanks to the document application, you can easily share, request, and store all of your documents in the same central and secured place. And at the center of everything, we have communication, allowing everyone to have the same information at all times. Another area where real-time accounting can also have an impact with Odoo is automation. So the aim of automation is to reduce the number of manual operations in order to work faster, be more efficient, and also reduce the risk of errors. In accounting, a good example of manual operations that do not bring a lot of values and take up a lot of your time is the manual input of invoices and bank statements, for instance. At Odoo, we always like to try to remove tedious tasks that have little or no added value. So Loïc, how can Odoo help with these manual operations?
So to show you that, we will go back to the accounting application, but now we will go to the vendor bill side. So as you see, we here have 3 bills to validate, and those are the bills I send from my document application to the accounting. So I will click on it, I will select the first one, I will just refresh, and we will see that the OCR will fill in fact, all the information that we need to record. So as you see, in one click, we have all the information regarding my vendor, my bill reference, my date. Everything is filled in. So all the information on the above, so the vendor, the bill reference, and so on, this is really linked to all the database of Odoo, and all the information you have here about the account, the price, the VAT code, and so on, this is really linked to your database specific.
Right, so you mean that Odoo is going to learn from this every time?
Indeed, indeed. And as you can see here, it's for a laptop, so it's already on an Activa, on an asset account with the tax code that was adjusted. If we go to the other invoices, we see for this one, it's the invoice I sent with my phone. So it's not only working with PDF, but also with pictures. And as you can see here, all the information is filled in. So I don't have to do any manual intervention. I just need to look if everything is recorded correctly. And same for the last one. All the information is filled in. So I just have to look and to validate this. So all this part can be done, in fact, by the client himself. Sending all the invoices to the document application, and from the document application, sending them to the accounting can in fact be done by the client, and you as an accountant, you will just review all these invoices directly in the accounting application, and you will be able in one click, for example, I will select all of them, and in one click, you will be able to post all of them.
Wow.
But it's not the only way to reduce manual intervention. We also have the online synchronization. So with Odoo, we have the online synchronization here. And in fact, you will connect to many banks in Belgium, but also worldwide. And Odoo will in fact connect with your bank and will fetch all the cash transaction every 4 hours, meaning that your balance sheet is always up to date with the last figures, in fact.
All right, so that's really real-time accounting. Another way to save time with Odoo is the help with recurring entries. In bookkeeping, we know that there are some entries that are repetitive, like depreciation of assets, deferred revenues or expenses, or even cut-off entries. So if you have a lot of clients, it can be quite time-consuming to remember to book all these entries at the right time. But of course, Odoo can help with that too, right?
Yes. So as you said, Laurent, it's not always easy to know what has been done or not. So we will take an example and we will go back to our bills, and I will take the Coolblue invoice. And as you can see, once it's confirmed, I have a smart button with an asset that was created, and in one click, I can just go on it and I can review the information if needed. I can confirm it, and then I can see here my board with all the entries that will be posted on the right date automatically by Odoo. So we have the same principle for deferred expense and income, and it works exactly the same, sorry.
Okay. I also heard that Odoo 16 comes with a new feature called accounting firm mode. Can you tell us what that is?
Yeah, indeed. So before talking about this mode, we will switch to the customer invoice. And as you are working in the same database with the client, it's also possible for your client to directly create his customer invoices in the database. So meaning that you as an accountant, you don't need to record all these invoices. So it can be really a time saving for you as an accountant.
Well, that's great collaboration.
Yes, but if you still want to manually record these invoices, thanks to our new accounting firm mode, we will see that when you create a new invoice, you have here a limited view on what you can do. And it's really when you will just enter the customer, for example, with the total amount of the invoice, we will say 121 to keep it simple. And when I click, I see that my account, my quantity, my price, and my VAT code is automatically filled in based on the artificial intelligence.
Wow.
So this is really a way to gain time. And you can also, in the other info tab, you can also choose to auto-pose this invoice, meaning you can choose for a monthly, and you can also add end date if you want, but you can then post this invoice every month, and it will be done by Odoo automatically. So you don't need to create a new invoice each month for the same customer for the same amount.
That's great. Okay, so after all this bookkeeping, obviously the final goal is to have a set of financial statements that we can send to our customer. Odoo comes with a full range of financial reports, either generic or based on your localization. And if you want, you can even create your own financial reports with Odoo spreadsheets. And with real-time accounting, you will be able to share these financial statements with your client much quicker, and they will appreciate that because they will be able to make better business decisions based on this information, right?
Yes. So a very easy and quick way to share information is to save a report in the document application. So for that, we will go to the accounting app and we will go to the reporting tab. We see we have different reports, and we can select, for example, the first one. And here we are in the balance sheet. So it's maybe the case that sometimes the client is asking you for a financial situation as of 30th of June, for example, here, because he needs this to go to the bank. So you will just, in one click, go to your report, save this one in PDF or Excel, or both if you want. And from this view, you can also choose in which folder you want to save it in your document application. So I will say, for example, financial situation. I will use the tag 2022, and I can export it. And we will see now I'm in my document application, and I can see my report. That means that even if your client doesn't have access to the accounting app, he can still see the report in the document application, and he can download it if needed.
Wow. So we have seen many features that will allow you to save so much time. So what are you going to do with all this free time? Well, your clients appreciate professional advice from their accountants. And they will also appreciate access to the new dashboards application, where they can find real-time data analysis and KPIs and financial ratios, right?
Yes. So if we go back to the database, we will now go to the dashboard application. And in this application, you will see in one click all different KPIs about accounting, invoicing, and benchmark. If we go to the invoicing tab, for example, you will see that there is a lot of information. So all this information is out of the box, but of course you can adjust it and modify and add additional information if needed. As everything is integrated, you can also in one click, for example, on the invoices, you can have a look for this invoice. You just click on it, and then you are in the accounting application, and you can have a view on this specific invoice.
Okay, so accounting firm can now have more time to focus on strategic tasks and sell more services to their clients. So let's recap on the automation part. We have seen that Odoo can help you reduce manual entries thanks to technologies like the OCR or the bank synchronization. Odoo will also help you by posting recurring entries automatically, so you don't have to remember all of them. You can find a full range of financial reports in Odoo that you can share with your clients in just a few clicks. And eventually, you will have more time to focus on more strategic projects and give professional advice to your clients. So like many other businesses, financial firms face their own challenges. So we have added great features to the accounting application based on the feedback we received from professional accountants. So coupled with blazing fast technology and artificial intelligence, Odoo can help you work better with your clients, improve your collaboration, and also save a lot of time thanks to the automation of repetitive entries. Accounting firm can work hand in hand with their clients in the same database and finally reach real-time accounting. And what is truly amazing about this is that everything we have seen so far is entirely free for accounting firms, except for the credits to use the OCR technology. So if you are an Odoo accountant and you are working with Odoo every day, do not forget to register online on our website, because every day we have clients asking us for Odoo accountants. So I hope you found this interesting. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.
Q&A session. I believe it's our very dear Amy Caroline.
Hello, thank you for the presentation.
Well, thank you.
That was really great, and actually one of our questions was to know if it will still be free for fiduciaries, so you guys already answered that.
Yeah, it's true. So we have this offer for accounting firms where you can download the accounting application, the document application, and also the fleet application if you are interested, and this is just covered into a free contract for accounting firms.
Perfect, amazing. Someone also asks how to declare fiscal tax like VAT and the annual report. Is it automatic?
Yes, so in Odoo we have a lot of reports that are out of the box. So it's really easy. Under the reporting tab you can find all the reports, and in one click you can
you can produce your reports, but you won't be shared with the tax administration if that's what you are asking, because obviously every country has a different system, so you can easily export your tax report and then send it in a different way to your tax administration.
Absolutely great, thank you. We have another question. How can you easily review your cost to serve per customer and per type of service you offer to your customers? So hours spent over hours invoiced, even if you work with service package subscriptions.
Okay, so that will be then your budget. So there's also an option that we haven't covered here because that's more generic to accounting, but there's an option to activate budget in Odoo, so then you can do a full analysis based on that later in Odoo.
Okay, great, thank you. Is there an overview of auto posts of invoices that are activated, and how can they be deactivated? Do we need to find the initial invoice? So that very first one that's checked.
Right. Well, I guess you can sort on the draft entries to see the ones that are going to be posted in the future. You can also sort by date, so if you wanted to see what's going to be posted in the next few weeks or so, then you can easily identify that. And then I think based on the links between the two, you can easily come back to the initial
and I guess if
invoice.
you also sort on the partner with and you select only the draft invoices, you can easily find all the invoices that will be
Yeah, we have
posted.
a lot of filters and group buys in Odoo, so I think finding the information will be very easy and straightforward.
Great, perfect. All right, can we share the dashboards from the dashboard app to the customers or with other users?
Yeah, so that's a question of access rights, but they will, if they have access to the database, they will have access to this application as well if you grant them access, and that's obviously the point, is that they can come, so they don't need to have access to the accounting if you don't want to, and then you can just give them access to documents and dashboards, and then they will be able to come and see for themselves the financial KPIs that's there.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you both very much.
Thank you for the questions. Thank you all.